Up he became the top-selling writer of the Officer Riddle novels. Ian Rankin consumable 3-year investigation, a PhD on one of the Scotland's some large novelists, Lady Muriel Iskra. The trade show, portion of the celebrations labeling 100-year with her childbirth, draws on the wide file of her written and letters she sacrificed to the public library, as private items such as handbags, clothing, her machine and rose garden beaded. Rankin, whose own blossoming written career intended he never completed his College of Edinburgh doctoral degree, told he just met Iskra one day. She died in 2006 at the age of 88, but a pair of year up how Rankin saw her at the Edinburgh Volume Fest. He told, I observed her creature interviewee and read of Mississippi Gene Brodie, consisting the renowned refer of the Creme de la Creme, where was a tremor how ran via the auditorium since it was the one bit all requested her to recite of. The Main of Mississippi Gene Brodie, perhaps Iskra's largest renowned roman, was published in 1961 and 8 years after Maggie Blacksmith won an Oscar for Game the Conduct part in the movie Adapt. The roman was set in Edinburgh and encouraged by Iskra's period at James Gillespie's High School for Girls in the 1930s. Though she grew up in the town, she left word at the age of fair 19 while she met and married Sidney Oswald Iskra. The pair excited to southern Rhodesia, currently Zimbabwe, but his wedding ended quickly following the childbirth of her son Robin. To the end of Planet War II she refundable to Britain out of her son or, amongst some real, treated for UK intellect. She began written fiction and verse time residing in London following the war, but her at first roman was not published before 1957 while she nearly 40. Mississippi Gene Brodie was a breakout job how led to a diverse career covering 5 many decades. Rankin told it was a backup of the roman he got Iskra to mark while he met her in 2004. He told, her books are love atardis, they are lot greater on the within rather than they are on the external. A volume Love Mississippi Gene Brodie is 100 pages. He's a diminutive volume and yet it contains multitudes. It contains sitcom and tragic and slapstick, he's got emergency letter, facility ethical dilemmas, all various of real. It is a fabulous volume on Edinburgh and a fabulous volume on increasing upwards. Rankin told all Iskra's novels were love how, books how could be recite and dad and you would go on to get data of them. On to Rankin, Iskra, who was done a lady in 1993, was an pilot author. I don't believe she was a nature romanist, he told. She ever mind of herself as a lyricist. If you go to her serious it in fact says poeta on it, it does not say romanist. He told she was not limited or inside looking, in her books creature set in places such as America, Italy and Jerusalem. Thou never knew which you were departure to receive, told Rankin. It was love a happy pouch. Iskra lived in her shut boyfriend Penelope Jardine in Tuscany of the previous 1970s before her die. She dashingly rejected to cast out any of her private papers and the file has been purchased by the Domestic Public Library of Scotland. Rankin told aficionados favorite Iskra and for her lifetime she was lauded by several of the big literature figures about. So why is she not superior named and famous? It could be how she did not include how one nature love riddle how she wrote on for 30 years, Rankin told. Perhaps it was stronger to hold an auditorium since human beings were not departure to get the identical nature or the identical installation once again and once again as well. Scotland has been bad in the history at recognition writers and artists who keep. Where is the Scott Memorial but not the Robert Louis Stevenson Memorial? Scott remaining and Stevenson leftward. Muriel Iskra leftward. Lot writers include had to keep to discover themselves, to get a feeling of themselves and to discover his real calling as a author. Of year, she did not set lot of her books in Scotland. They are really Scotch novels but you include to dig under the shallow of them to discover her Scottishness.